Hello, everybody. My name is Paul K. Lemaire. This is Your City, Your Voice, and I'm here today with my compadre, Dave Wheeler.
How you doing?
Welcome to the show. Your City, Your Voice, 4680Q Radio. And guess what? Today is City Council Agenda Review Day. Always a fun day, Dave, when we get together here.
I just like to tell Gary Wilson, as I'm wearing the shirt he loves so much, he's so jealous of this shirt.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with the parrots and the greenery.
He wants to wear it over to the down to the gorge, maybe.
Yeah.
Catch some fish. That would attract fish.
I think he's still down east, no?
I don't know where he is. I talked to him online, but I don't know where he is right now. I didn't know if he was in town or not. But I always talk to him online. This morning I was talking to him online about stuff. He said he gave me a tip today.
What's the tip?
The tip is when we do City Council agenda, do not forget to mention that the meeting is at the Exchange this time.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
good one.
Now, I had that written down, but thanks for the reminder, because we don't want to miss that. If you're going to City Council meeting, you've got to go to the Exchange. The medical exchange, I call it, because that's what I'm calling it in the future when I get doctors in there and actually make use of that white elephant. But the medical exchange, the exchange on Sylvia Place, where the market used to be before it left because there was no business there, and where everybody left because there's nothing there. I mean, it's
yeah. This is probably an attempt for City Hall to use the building that nobody uses,
and they're closing down City Hall for renovations. I got to get a number for what these renovations are costing. They just spent a fortune on the outside with that beautiful brown brick building they had there, City of Niagara Falls. They redid the whole face of it, and I'm sure it cost a fortune. And now they're going to do the inside, probably to accommodate all the people that Penguin has hired over the last 3 or 4 years. He's hired 60 people. They filled up every niche and nook and cranny down there.
House of Penguin.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, the Penguin and the Squirrel. What a show we got going on down there. But I digress. Let's get down to the show. This is beautiful weather. I ought to get out of here and go home and relax in the sun and read a book. 78 degrees, 80 degrees when I got up this morning. And now it's going to go up to probably 90 or 90 something. Okay, so it's summer. Get over it. This is what we get in the summer. In 2 months, you'll be paying thousands of dollars to find this kind of weather.
Yeah, that's right. You'll be going to a place. You're complaining about it now, but then you'll go pay money to go find it.
Okay, so I got to get to my sponsors: Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, Hamel Machine Company, and the Niagara Parks Commission. We got to get to them before we get into the show, and then we're going to dive right into this City Council agenda. And I'm telling you right now, in this kind of weather, your kids are going to be bugging you to take them somewhere to go for a swim. They're going to be bugging you to do something. You don't want your car to break down on the way to Muskoka. That's a bummer. And then you think it's hot outside now. It'll be really hot in your car when it breaks down on the side of the road. So you take your car to Ken Hunter at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. You say, Ken, check over my car. Make sure all systems are go. I'm going on a trip. And he's going to put your car through the gamut of technology that he has to check your systems, fix any computer errors, make sure your brakes are working, make sure your air conditioning is working, your fluids topped up. You're going to be good to go, Dave.
Indeed you are.
And you don't want to be breaking down. Believe me, you want to be proactive, not reactive. And if you happen to get in a fender bender or even a major collision, doesn't matter. He's got a full body shop. Car goes in, wreck comes out like it came out of the showroom. That's the way Ken Hunter does stuff at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership. Give them a call today. Tell them Paul and Dave sent you from Your City, Your Voice. And while you're at it, go to wildbillsauto.ca and check out their website. And while you're at that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Come on. You're watching the videos. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a like or a dislike, whatever you want. Leave some comments on this show. We appreciate it, and we respond to all your comments. We talk about them on the air because they're important to us, and you're important to us, and we appreciate you watching the show. Have a great day. We're going to sit here. We're doing City Council agenda now. Sit back and relax. This is going to be a good one.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, let's get at it.
Let's get at it.
Yeah, that's I think your sort of talking about the Burgess thing and the
Oh yeah, we got lots to tackle. But
fire department.
first off, they're going to sing "O Canada." Kayla Fraser is singing "O Canada." I'm not sure if it's live or taped. They really didn't say, but we'll have to tune in to see. And then they go through the normal opening rigmarole with this deputations and presentations and everything, and then we get into the city council. Anything special in the first little bit there that you saw, Dave?
No, not really. But I wonder, just as an odd, how much is the exchange going to cost City Hall to have their meetings there?
That I don't know. That I don't know, Dave, because they never put a price on it. But it can't be any more than $1,600 an hour. I don't think so.
I'm thinking if it's less money, they should continue operating out of the exchange, right? You know.
Well, I don't think it will be because number one, they put a ton of money into city council. They've got all those fancy microphones and everything else. Number two, they've got to move the whole shooting match down there.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I think basically city council is better at city hall. That's where it belongs. But I don't know. That's a great question. Where does it cost more to run? I'd say there because everybody's got to move down there and go down there. And these guys, because they're going to the exchange, they're all going to get compensated for mileage to drive there and that. They are.
Mileage, overtime.
Oh yeah, they're going to be claiming everything. It's going to be a claim fest over there. So
yeah.
I think I don't know.
The in-camera meetings happening there.
Yeah, the in-camera meetings there too. So
just have to stay outside and see how many pizza trucks go in there.
Hey, that's easier to track there. They don't have the secret entrance.
That's right.
They haven't geared up for the secret entrance to get them pizza guys in there, in the Brewers retail trucks. Okay, let's get to item 7.1. Basically, it's about setting up to build the new Chippewa Willoughby Arena, putting parameters around the build not to exceed $70 million.
Well, $70 million nowadays is not a whole lot of money.
And, my goodness, $70 million.
$70 million. Well, that's 70 houses nowadays, basically 70 or 75 houses, if you want to look at it that way. When you look around at the price of houses, if you're going to get something decent, you're going to have to pay about $750,000. Right?
Yeah, I'm thinking though it's one big barn they're building, and then they throw ice in it and a few seats.
No, there's a library going in there and all that.
A little library. Yeah, they're going to build a little library.
There's also something for children in there too. I made note of it.
Well, the Gale Center, 4 pads and everything else was something like $40 million. And I know that was a while ago now, but still to build one ice pad, NHL size they're building, and there's a grant of $10 million from the province. It seems like a lot of money. I'm gonna have to get my my John Ringo Beams of the world and other people that I know on this and say $70 million sound like a lot. Maybe it isn't. You could be right.
Well, $10 million the province is kicking in, 10 mil.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to cost us 60 mil. Now, what they have going on here is something very interesting, and that is they're going to go with what is called, let me get this, progressive design build. And that
sounds expensive.
Well, it's supposed to be less so expensive and less prone to overruns. What happens is typically what happens is they make an estimate on a building and there's delays, supplies get more expensive, et cetera, et cetera. But they're doing a little bit different. They're going to price this thing along the way. And I'll give you a little readout. PDB, price design build, is a project delivery method that combines design and construction services under a single contract with an emphasis on early collaboration and a phased approach. It differs from traditional design build by engaging the design build team early in the project life cycle to develop the design and establish contract price in phases. This collaborative approach allows greater flexibility, risk management, and potential cost savings. Basically, what they're doing here is they're getting the architect and the contractor, and the owner to all get together under one contract.
I figure out a price that we're going to rip them out for it.
Well, basically, they're going to do it in stages, so there's more oversight on it.
Okay.
And they're going to have to report, according to this report, periodically report back to council on the progress.
So it won't go like the exchange, 5 million over and 3 years over.
Yes, and if there is something that's going to stall or add cost to it, they'll have to justify that in stages and phases.
Yeah, and they're not going to build a brand new one. They're going to refurbish the old one. And that has me concerned about the price because they've got the structure there. They're just going to put additions onto it and redo the inside, put an NHL rink inside and that kind of thing. So I don't know. This sounds like a lot of money. Is there anybody out there who can tell me? We'll see what they say tomorrow about it. Maybe Vince Cario or somebody who's got an idea of what construction costs are can say of 70 million. It's up to 70 million. It doesn't mean it's going to be that. It might be 50 million, but
well, this is a government project. Every government project finds ways of getting inflated. As soon as the contractor looks at it, I see lots of extras here.
Well, I certainly hope that there's some oversight committee or something to watch this because.
This whole progressive design build is supposed to be for that. In our particular case, it's the architect, the contractor, and the owner. The owner, of course, being city, and they're in one contract, and watch over it phase by phase. So everybody has skin in the game right from the beginning, and are part of the continuous process from beginning to end. It's not like the city comes in and give me a bid, okay, goodbye, and then somebody knocks on the door. Well, we found some problems, blah blah blah. The steel has gone up, aluminum's gone up, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll see what City Council says about this one. I'm interested in listening to 7.1 for sure. That's going to be one of the ones I'm going to check off as one of the ones we want to watch. Item 7.1 about the Chippewa Arena, the new build for Chippewa. And I love Chippewa getting it. They need it. Good for them. They need some. That's an old barn they got there, and it'll be good for the whole city, especially when you have an extra ice pad that's NHL size and you have a library in there for Chippewa, which they had to give up their library. So the whole thing sounds good. Better change rooms in the whole shot, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that's included in this. I think there's some daycare. Daycare is also in there.
There's going to be a daycare in there too?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So that's that'll help. We always need of those.
Multi-use building.
Yeah. It's good to have a collection point where the community can get together. I played, 12 seasons of no-hit hockey in there. It was, that was great. The city had it there. We could use it. And that's what it's for. So we want it for sure. But $70 million.
Community center.
Yeah, community center.
That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, right now it's just a rink. It's just a rink.
Yeah, they're turning it into a community center. That's good. Yeah. I don't know if 70 million is the price, though. I'm gonna have to see about that one.
Well, they're working on the bed of the ice. It's gonna have to be a kind of a surface that's good for lacrosse and other games like that play on a hard surface under in an arena. So if you remember Stanford Arena, well, that had a sand surface, so you couldn't use it for lacrosse, but you could use Jack Bell for lacrosse.
Yes,
we played a lot of our lacrosse at the old Memorial Arena. But that's another factor in there. They're trying to design a good surface for other sports to be played there, even basketball or so on. So there's a lot of planning to do, and $70 million these days is a drop in the bucket.
Win one lottery.
Yeah.
And you pay for it. Buy some tickets, City Council. You don't charge us. 7.2, I wasn't even going to mention 7.2. It was just something that, you want to read, nothing major. But what I found interesting is that Stephen Seuss, he addressed a victim of crimes request to be moved as a motion by Mike Strange. I just found that a little bit,
I saw that right away too.
Yeah, I just found that a little bit weird, like of all the people to ask to address a motion about victims of crime, Mike Strange.
Yeah, he starts a hello, Counselor Strange.
Yeah.
Here is the victims of crime motion I would like introduced as a motion, as a notice of motion at the next meeting at the Niagara Falls Council.
Yeah, I think his court date is this week, isn't it?
That's well, that's amusing, but also he's going to get it. The first thing they're going to tell him is you're trying to embarrass a council member. This is not good demeanor. The whole
was that like a shot at him, or I just found that like a weird one. I mean, of all the city councilors, why pick that guy?
Because of what he's up against.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is derogatory.
It's a shot.
Yeah. Now the other thing he has there is zeroing in on Indigenous violence.
Yes.
When he asks for the federal, the city, and all these people to make all kinds of laws and rules and things like that, it's kind of outside the bounds of the city.
Yep.
But he's looking for a forum, and this is what he's using.
I'll be interested to see what he has to say. I wasn't even going to mention it, but then I saw Mike Strange and I'm going, that's just really weird, right? 8.1 planning matters relating to permit on farm diversified use and small scale commercial use. We see this kind of thing with wineries and some farms in Pelham and other locations, Grimsby, Beamsville, where farm buildings are used as produce stores, even sites for events like weddings or parties. So this makes sense to allow it. I like it. And Art Federer is the guy that's going to be up in front of City Council talking about this. He's a well-known guy in Chippewa. And I think it's great. I think he'll get the okay. So that's the only planning matter that's really here this time.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. I mean, there's a number of objections to using up farmland for other purposes, but in this particular case, I don't think it's a big deal. It actually is a service to the city, probably, that has a place where events can happen.
And I hope everybody could hear Dave pretty good because his microphone wasn't on.
Oh, good.
But it was coming up on the board here, so
okay.
So you're getting some action over here. That's good. So they're hearing you, maybe probably through my microphone, but now they'll be able to hear you better. Okay, so that should be okay. I'm going to go to items 9.1 and 2. This is a lengthy one. We're going to talk about this a little bit, but before we get there, we got to talk about my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. This is about the firefighters. This is a good one, and I can't wait to see this tomorrow night when City Council starts at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Okay, so Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. You want a great pizza. You want a consistent pizza. You want a good, solid pizza with great dough, great sauce, all the Mancini family recipe. Been here for 40 years. Fresh toppings. You have to go to Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. They do it right. They know how to make a pizza over there, but they're not a one-trick pony. They have wings. They have panzerotti. They have poutine, steak and cheese poutine, steak subs. They do it all over there, and they do it right. But I like their pizza. It's one of my favorite pizzas. They just are consistent. You know what you're going to get when you go there. They know how to do it consistently, and that's a big part. You go to a lot of places. It's good one day, terrible the next. Here, you know what you're getting. It's good all the time. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. How do you get one of these beauties? Well, you call Rex over there and you say, Rex, I want a pizza. 905-374-2222. Rex is going to make it up. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. And you can also go to their website, petespizzavictoria.ca, or order through Dine and Dash, Skip and Try. I don't know what the heck they're all called.
Yeah,
Skip
there's
the
a
Dishes,
handful of them.
Dine and Dine Out, or I don't know them all, but they use them all. You get a hot, fresh pizza in half an hour or something. It's great, and they'll deliver themselves too. So Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue is where you want to go when you need a great pizza, and you know as well as I do, once a week you need a great pizza. Yeah, it's calming for me.
It is.
It is. When I watch City Council, I sit with a pizza. I know I'm
throw
going
it
to
at
get upset.
the city. You don't throw it at the TV.
No. Oh, I wouldn't waste.
Pepperoni smears on the TV.
Oh, I would never waste a Pete's Pizza on City Council. No. Maybe a Domino's I would throw. Something like that. You have
to have one of each then. One to throw, one to eat.
Yeah, but not Pete's Pizza. No way, man. But that's what calms me down. They get me going, and I just go and grab a piece of Pete's Pizza. I have it, and I feel so much better. It's like taking a Valium or something.
Well, there you have it.
It calms you down. Peace Pizza Victoria Avenue. Support our sponsors. They support the show. They're good corporate citizens. Okay, let's get in. This is going to be a long one here.
Ooh.
Item 9.1 and 9.2, and I cannot wait for this. I talk about this a lot on my show. And it's getting back to a discussion had in February of 2024 at a council meeting where the gallery was packed with firefighters, causing city council to fold like cheap suits and vote against moving dispatch out of the city. Davey, you were here when we talked about this.
Yes, a few times.
Now, everything in 9.1 was discussed and rejected before, but now the reality sets in as council is being asked to spend over $1 million on the new Nexus 911 call system that is mandated in the next capital budget. Now, along with 9.1, of course, is dispatch, which costs the city around $850,000 a year to run. And they're going to have a capital expenditure of over $1 million, $1.012 million for this new system. This is why we wanted to get dispatch out of here. And so when it's all said and done, we move to item 9.2. And this is directly from CAO Jason Burgess, the Penguin,
Yes,
opposing this purchase. And he was the guy who stood up before and he told city council, listen, you asked me to save $1 million.
that's right. And he came up with 240,000
Yep.
where they could save.
And they said no, because the firefighters were all there talking.
We didn't want to lose our dispatch. There's a lot involved here too. Like, I don't know if you're going to get into, but it turns out that our own dispatch here in the city uses suppression staff to man it. The suppression staff is the actual firefighters. They don't have, so they have to man it from time to time. This is no longer a good system because it's not modern. These guys don't do it full time. Their skill levels, they actually have a term for it, fade away skill levels or something. If you don't do a job continually, and you're taking suppression staff away from the job. And you got 2 or 3 fires. What are you going to do? You can't leave a guy back there if he's a firefighter.
Yeah. So what do you call in? You call somebody in on overtime. One of the dispatchers.
Yeah.
Or something. So basically, this is going to be a really good battle between the CAO, Jason Burgess, the Penguin, and we'll see if council has the balls to do the right thing. They can correct the mistake they made in February of 2024, which was turning down this dispatch. Now, there was a big article, and I talked about this last week, about the St. Catherine's dispatch. And they're revamping everything there. They're spending over $1 million to revamp their whole building to make it come up to date. They're doing 9 different dispatches now. They're getting Bruce County or something.
Are they? They did that as well. Well, they are the secondary backup system for Hamilton, aren't they? I think it goes on to say something like that.
Yeah, I think
so.
They
talk here about maintaining a redundant system in case your main one dies. So the old redundant system is maintained to a certain level. Well, your new system, if there's any problems with it, it's a backup. And it looks like for instance, it sounds to me when I read it that St. Catherine's is kind of a backup to Hamilton if their system has a problem. So yeah, you have to get into the 21st century here in Niagara Falls because that kind of hokey stuff, well, we'll lose a few seconds if we don't have our own dispatch. When it's clearly described in here, the dispatch is not good. It is not up to snuff. It is not modern. And you're relying on suppression staff to man it. And now you find yourself way behind technologically, and you're going to have to throw a lot of money at it, millions of dollars into it, when you could have gone to St. Catherine's and helped them along and shared the cost.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going to save $250,000 a year just by moving it in expenses, by moving it to St. Catherine's. And that's not even mentioning the $1 million to upgrade the systems we have now.
Yeah, that was never even discussed, but I think Burgess warned about that.
Yes, he did. Yeah, and now they're saying that because of the population and everything else, we're probably going to have to add a second seat to our dispatch, which means another employee, which means another maybe $850,000 or whatever. So this is what's coming in the future. Jason Burgess is looking to the future and understanding what these counselors don't understand, and they're going to give up and give all kinds of gaslighting excuses about response time. That's baloney, because Fort Erie dispatches out of Tilsonburg, and they don't have any problems with response time. It's technology today that doesn't. You could dispatch from Timbuktu, wherever that is. And you know where that is? Timbuktu, is that in Africa?
Yes, it's in Niger, I think. It's along the Niger River.
You can dispatch from that, from Africa, and it would still get the fire guys there in time. So don't listen to the rhetoric. Don't listen to the baloney. Don't listen to all the pleas. It's got to go. And if our city council is truly interested in saving us money, they are going to say, yes, let's move it. And no, we're not spending $1 million on the new Nexus 911 system. We'll see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be a battle. I can't wait. I've been talking about this, and I'm going to talk about more of it tomorrow. But we'll get into it a little bit more tomorrow.
We should add also that in the article, in the paperwork there that we read, our fire hall is extraordinarily expensive compared to other ones. It's one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive, to run per capita. And they compared it to Barrie and other places. I forget the city. It might have been Barrie, where they compared it to. And they have more calls and they have more fires and everything, and yet they are running at less money. So there's a really good comparison there. Yeah, if you read that, you'll see where they do compare. They compare it to Hamilton. They compare it to other cities. And ours is is very expensive for what we get.
Yeah, go through it, check it out, and then we're going to hear them talk about it tomorrow. So I can't wait.
Timbuktu's in Mali.
Maui?
Mali.
Where the hell's Mali?
Country of Mali in West Africa.
Oh, I never even heard of it. Was it called something else than Zimbabwe or something before?
No. You're thinking of probably Burkina Faso, which is close to it.
Oh, no, I wasn't thinking of that. Never heard of that. You've been there. You know all of this stuff. Okay, moving on. That's going to be one you got to mark on your agenda too. Going to mark that one, number 9.1 and 9.2. That's a must see, that one there. Okay, item 9.3. Unless you had something else between the 8s and the 9s, Davey.
No, I don't. No, I don't think so.
Okay, item 9.3 is where council starts to pick our pockets for next year. Being asked to direct staff
preliminary budget
to prepare a budget that ranges from 2.5% to 3.5% increase in the operations budget, and 1% to 4.5% on the capital budget.
Oh, here it is. Here, I can tell you. I can go back a bit here. It says the city of Niagara Falls is already one of the most expensive fire departments on per capita basis. In comparison, Barrie's fire department in 2023 had a budget of $29.7 million,
$30 million,
and responded to 10,798 emergency calls, 211 property fires, and 8,079 medical. In comparison, in 2023, Niagara Falls Fire Department, with a similar budget, responded to only 4,971 calls, only 96 fires, and only 1,846 medical. So we see that the city of Barrie, with comparable budgets, does double at least what.
But what were the other 1,896? That's like 1,900 calls. Where were the other 3,000 calls? What were the other 3,000 calls for? When you look at those numbers.
Here, let me give them to you again. So with Barrie, who has a budget of $29.7 million, had 787 rescue calls. I got 10,798 emergency calls.
Yep.
Including 211 property fires, 8,079 medical, and 789 rescue calls.
What were Niagara Falls numbers?
In comparison, Niagara Falls Fire Department, with a similar budget, responded to 4,971 calls.
So a third of the calls, quarter of the calls.
Yeah. Including 96 property fires,
Yeah.
which is less than half of the other one.
And,
1,846 medical, which is about 1/6 of the other ones, and 618 rescues.
618 rescues. So where are the other calls? There's over 2,500 calls missing.
I don't know. But anyway, that's what it reads.
Yeah, that's what it reads. So, okay, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. I'm going to break these down into percentages, and you'll see what I'm talking about tomorrow. You'll see my numbers because I've already written and I know what I'm going to talk about. And it's going to be about this, and we'll go through these numbers right here tomorrow. Okay, back to item 9.3, where the city council picks our pocket, 2.5 to 3.5% on the operating budget and 1 to 4.5% increase on the capital budget. Now, when I read through the 11 pages of numbers telling us how union contracts, cost of goods, and all these other goodies everyone wants and taxpayers have to fund, there's not one entry, Dave, and I read through all the 11 pages, not one entry telling us how they're going to cut costs through efficiencies. They're telling us how they're going to raise money. We got to raise money. We got to raise your taxes. We're going to raise your taxes. We're going to raise your taxes. There's nothing there about any efficiencies.
No,
I don't get it.
So yeah, there was nothing in that at all. It's almost as if they're sort of just saying, well, it's going to have to be more, but we have an expanding city, so it's going to be hard to cut back anyway. But the efficiencies are the things you're talking about. And how do you more efficiently conduct the city? Well, I think Burgess has done a lot of that because we were using archaic and old systems. I mean, right up until 2010, I think it was, the city service center was using typewriters with triplicate carbon paper kind of thing. Well, that might be a little earlier than that, but still a good 15 years behind everyone else. So we had a kind of so Burgess came in and modernized things. So that a lot of that would be a one-time only cost, but I don't know how else you're going to do it. And now staff are mindful that the capital levy increase, they're talking about that too, required for the next 10 years, identified above, may have come as a surprise to the council. As a result, we'll be pausing on the fleet deferred items, et cetera, et cetera. There you go. They're going to replace the fleet. They need to replace the fleet. And if you talk to anybody that works for the city works, their stuff was junk. I mean, they were just junk. I mean, instead of buying a new truck for $250,000, they were fixing the same one for $60,000 to $80,000 every year after year after year.
Yeah.
So,
but my thing is okay. That's some of that stuff's got to be done. That's in the capital budget to buy new vehicles. They put money away for that. But all these new systems we've spent millions of dollars on that Jason Burgess put in are not saving us a dime, because I don't see a zero budget coming in, and I don't see anybody on city council that can come up with anything to bring us a zero budget. I don't think they're qualified.
Well,
This Carrio's going to be the only guy.
You said efficiency, so we don't know. Like Burgess bring all this stuff in, it may be running much more efficient than it was, given the expanding city and the new expenses. So we may be spending our money better than we were before. Not enough to come down to a zero budget or anything like that, but we probably are spending our money better because of the size of the city and how it's expanding and all that. So it may be running much more efficient, but it doesn't. But when you look at the bottom line, there still is an increase. But if it wasn't as running as efficient as it is, he probably would argue that the increases would have been much higher. I
don't believe it.
Well, yeah, I'm just
proposing. You're just playing, but you're just playing with the devil's advocate or whatever. But
yes.
I think that basically there are efficiencies that they can find in this city. And we have a lot of reserve money sitting around. There's a lot of money sitting around. I figured it out last year. I said 80 million. John Ringo Beam says 165 million. there's money sitting around. And these guys, you never see them. They tell everybody how they're gonna raise your taxes because of this and that, but nobody ever stands up and says, I found efficiencies. I think Lori Lococo presented like $1 million of efficiencies. They never went with any of it. What's her name? Councilor Only 8 came up with 50,000 off the fireman's $30 million budget. Why bother? And Mona Patel said, "Oh, let the staff figure it out." She said a thing about her thing about finding efficiency. That's for the staff to figure.
She was the one that asked for $1 million and then hasn't agreed with anything.
Yeah. And then Victor Peterangelo actually wanted to raise it. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more tomorrow. But at the end of the day, I think that Lori Lococo's proposal last year to start out at 0 and add it as we need it. Try to get it to 0. That's a mandate. Get it to 0. And I think there should even be a bylaw or something that says, there goes my buddy Bob Benner from Hamill Machine Company.
So that proposal would be like start at the same as you were last year, your 0 budget.
Yeah.
Right. And then if you need something, you make your case for it and so on. Right.
Yeah. I think there should be a law that for every $1 extra you want to spend, you have to find $1 of savings.
Well, the old wisdom is if you have a budget and you found efficiencies, do not show them up. Use up your whole budget. Otherwise, you will not get the same amount next year. So that's the old wisdom. Okay, we found efficiencies. We got extra money, but we got to find a place to spend it. Otherwise, they'll take this money away from us next year.
That's the way it used to be. But you know what? Everybody's tight now. There's no money around. People are struggling to pay their taxes. As a matter of fact, there's $34 million in arrears right now. There's a report on that they're going to have at this meeting. If you look at the tax arrears. So you got to say that somehow this council has got to find efficiencies, but nobody ever does. Jason tried, and they shot him down. And he's going to try again with the firefighters thing, and they're going to shoot him down. And he said, our biggest budget is the firefighters budget, $30 million, and nobody will let me touch it. He wants to go in there and straighten some stuff out. And this city council's got to get smarter. They can't just, like last year at the capital budget meeting, nobody even had any suggestions. They just raised their hand to accept it. Now, one question. Out of these 8 councilors, only Lori Lococo had some questions. 7 had no questions about 190 pages of expenditures. It's ludicrous. I don't even know if they read it. But this is what gets me mad and gets me going.
Well, especially when
we'll see what they say on.
We just read off the efficiencies per capita of our fire department compared to others, where Barry does like more than twice what ours does for the same budget.
Yeah, there you go. So we'll see what they say anyway. That's another one to watch. That's another one. Item 9.3 on the meeting tomorrow. Item 9.4, tax arrears. They want to shorten the tax arrears collection notice at the 2-year mark instead of the current 3-year mark, thus reducing outstanding receivables. And I think that, yes, reduced it to 2 years, because my thinking is if you don't pay your taxes in 2 years, if you haven't paid, you're not going to be able to pay them in 3. That's the whole thing. So let's get them to collections, get the money and pay these bills, because there are 34 million of receivables at the end of 2024, the highest level ever in the city, even higher than the COVID years.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, there's a lot of people hitting the edge. A lot of people. This town is being assaulted by high housing and all that. In our means of support, our jobs and our overall income is not improved.
Right.
It's not improved.
So people are struggling, and the city continues to raise their property taxes and their water bills and their whatever else. The electricity bills and gas bills are going up. Gasoline has come down, thank God. That's one good thing. And then we're tariffs on everything now because our dopey federal government can't make a deal. So we're getting hit up from all sides. And people are in receipt and collections because of the property, right? And they're offering $500 relief a year for the next 10 years. They got that program going. But I mean, if you can't afford 5,000, you're going to be able to afford 4,500. I know it's something. It's better than nothing, but still, I will see what they say about that. I want to hear more about that, about this collection thing. But that's what they want to do. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. If you can't pay in 2 years, you're not going to be able to pay if you get another year. So let's just get our money.
Do they allow them to pay part of it at least? And,
Yeah. You can make arrangements.
Yeah.
You can make arrangements with the city. They're not going to get rid of that. It's not either or. If you can make arrangements and set a number with them that you're going to pay every month to be able to try to pay this off, they'll work with you on it. That's another good thing.
Yeah. They'll have to send a notice to the people who haven't paid their taxes that with a little sub note and the address of the soup kitchen and Project Share, because that's what they're headed.
Well, they should. They should. Okay. Item 9.5 was predicated on the request at last council's meeting where Victoria Avenue BIA member addressed council as the seasonal vendors setting up right next to his bricks and mortar store. He thought this was unfair as he pays taxes year round while the seasonal vendor only pays $1,200 fee to set it up. And they're asking for it to remain for this year, not to take any action this year, but going forward, seasonal licenses of this sort will be eliminated. And this was the only one granted for 2025 because there was no other applicants. So I think, time to get rid of it. I agree with the guy. He's trying to make a buck down there, and they got mobile stores set up right next to him when he's paying taxes all year. That isn't fair. I think they'll say okay to that one.
Yeah, I don't know why it happened in the first place, to tell you the truth. Somebody should have thought of that.
Yeah, there was more that took advantage of it at one time, but now it's like, probably because there's no room down there to set up a mobile shop. I mean, really, it's pretty crowded down at Clifton Hill area and all that now. So, but that's it. So that'll be done. Item 9.6, another $350,000 hit to the capital budget. We'll talk about that after I talk about your favorite sponsor of mine, Hamel Machine Company.
Yes, I do.
And we saw Bob Benner just walk by. Since 1948, Hamel Machine Company's been serving industry in Niagara Falls. And it's so important, Dave, that when industry comes to a city, they want to know there's machine shops that can help them fix equipment and fix parts, do whatever, create them, fix them, repair them, 3D print them, water jet cut them, whatever they need done. They go to a machine shop because time is money and they can't afford to be shut down these days.
Not just a machine shop, it's a fab shop, welding shop, the whole thing. Huh?
Yeah, they do everything.
So they're an industrial process. And you need that support. If you're going to try to attract any kind of business here, any kind of manufacturing, even agriculture, you mentioned they support the agricultural industry.
Oh, they sure do.
And agriculture brings in about $1.6 billion to the region. So that's a big thing. So yeah, that's very, very important to have that, because when you're looking to locate, do they have a good machine shop and fab shop that I can rely on?
Yeah.
And we do.
Yeah, and time is money. And today, some of these parts come from Germany, Taiwan, Vietnam, South America. Like anymore, all the OEMs are not situated in North America. So it takes time to get it from these places if they have it in stock. So the machine shop makes sure that they're not down for a long time because they can fix it, repair it, re-engineer it. And usually Hamel will improve it so that your machine runs more efficiently. And time is money these days. So Hamel Machine Company, 1948 in Niagara Falls. They're good corporate citizens, and they'll even help out guys like us, like you say, fabricate a set of back gates for your backyard. They do it all. They do it all. Hamel Machine Company. That was office right over here on shop right over here on Bridge Street and one on Kent Avenue. Support our sponsors. They support the show. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And hamelmachine.ca is their website if you want to see the wonderful work that they do. Okay, so that $350,000 hit to the capital budget. I mean, we're at about $8 million or so now, and they want like that $1 million for the Nexus 911 system in this council as well. Where do they get this money that we don't have? The current city employee parking lot has been bought by the U of NF for student housing. So they're building a 10 to 20 story building on the old King Eddie property, and the employees have nowhere to park. So, they're finishing the new parking facilities on the bus terminal property on Erie Avenue and Park Street. They're going to build a multi-level parking garage there. That's what they said in the item. So until then, they want to refurbish all the lot where the fire was, where that fire building was on Erie Avenue, that corner there, across from where the King Eddie used to be in the new University of Niagara Falls schools going. And they want to pave it and everything for parking for City Hall employees, and that's going to cost $350,000.
Ouch.
And I never knew they were going to build a multi-level parking unit by the bus terminal over here on Park Street and Erie Avenue. So that's interesting news in there.
They had to burn down those buildings first before they could plan for that.
So there you go. They're spending $350,000. Another tap on the capital budget that wasn't passed last November when they passed the capital budget. So we're about $8 million now. I think we're tapped into it, closing in on 10, and that's what we had the year before. Now, item 9.7, the Dettenbeck Bridge, another $1 million we allegedly don't have being approved. So this meeting will be about $3 million if they get the Nexus 911 for the firefighters. $9 million has mysteriously turned up. $5 million, our taxes went up 5% because we didn't have enough money to pay for everything. Now they found another $10 million, $9 million here. And I don't know where they get it, but they need another $1 million for the Dettenbeck Road Bridge. The squirrel, Tiffany Clark.
How come they didn't see that coming, though? Aren't they supposed to have periodic inspections?
No.
And
no.
So you have this bridge, and somebody knows that it's on its way out. But that fact it didn't make it into the city council that say, look, we have to be prepared for this expense coming up. Somebody's known for a long time and yelling, hey, that bridge has got to be repaired. No, we won't talk about it right now.
Yeah, well, that's another $1 million. See, they need another $1 million for that. So they're going to go to the capital budget and do an amendment to it. But the squirrel, Tiffany Clark, the squirrel, I call her, because she squirrels money away. She's hoarding again.
Her cheeks are full?
Yeah, she hoards the money while recommending tax increases. And then all of a sudden, it mysteriously appears for other projects that we need it for during the year. Last year was, I think, $10 million they found that we didn't have, but they found it somewhere. And, where they find it. I know they got $80 million stashed. The squirrel has stashed it. The squirrel stashes it all the time. Don't you remember the squirrel? When Victor Peterangelo said that $1.3 million for the hospital, we don't need that anymore. I think it was Victor. And they said, well, what shall we do with it? Well, we can always give it back to taxpayers and charge them like 2% less, because every 700,000 is a point. So 1.3 million is close to 2 points. But she stood up right away and snatched it out of thin air. No, we're putting it into the new vehicle repair fund or purchase fund, which they just spent $14 million on that year. And she stashed that $1.3 million away, and that's 2 years of it now. So she's got that 2 point. She's a squirrel.
Somebody get her a treadmill.
Oh, brother. I'm telling you, we need a Doge in the city, believe me. But anyway, watch item 9.7, have them see them approve the $1 million. It's just going to go through like a knife through butter. What do they call that? Something through a goose.
Oh,
we got the squirrel, the penguin, and the goose. The goose is loose. I hope Vince Cario stands. I mean, this guy knows how to run a $150 million budget and everything else. I hope he stands up and gets in on some of this. That's what I want him there for his experience and knowledge and wisdom. I hope he just don't sit there. Usually he gets up, so I might have to send him an email. Vince, say something.
Yeah.
But budget's coming in November anyway. So, and by the way, these are item 10.1 is they're giving you the dates on they're going to pick your pocket, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right up front, November 17th, capital budget education session. So it's not a city council meeting; it's an education session for the city council. so they can tell them, this is what we're going to do. We need your hands up.
This is what you're going to say.
Yeah, that's right. Signs the paper. November 25th, special capital budget meeting. I can't wait for that. That's when the capital budget comes out, all 190 pages of it. We can look through it and see where they're spending our money and how much it's going to go up, what increase, and then we'll see city council do nothing, put up their hands, okay it, and that'll be that. November 25th is a special.
Well, according to their surveys, roads are the biggest item that people worry about in the city.
Well, I agree.
So the infrastructure stuff.
They're a mess. Yeah. And they've been that way for a long time, and they passed capital and operating budgets for a long time, but the roads are still a mess.
Yep.
And we get 20 million a year, no other city gets. Go figure that one out. Special parking meter budget on the same night. They're going to talk about the parking lot, parking budget, the meters and the lots and everything else that we have. December 9th is the water wastewater budget meeting where they see how much you're going to pick your pocket, how much your water rates are going to go up this year. Boy, that car there needs some help out, wild bills. January 19th, 2026, operations budget education meeting. So they're gonna talk about that in the new year, January 19th. And on January 27th is the actual city council meeting for the special operations budget meeting. So there's your important dates. Mark them down in your calendar. Don't worry about it. I'll be here to tell you and remind you.
Yes.
Every day from now until the budgets. I can't wait for the election in 2026. We got an election coming up and we can start cleaning house. Okay, item 11.1 to 11.7. Flag raisings, a big no from me. You know my stand on that.
I'm the same.
Oh,
Canadian flag, Ontario flag, city flag, or region flag if they have it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I agree. That's the way it should go. Before we finish this off, because we're finishing it off, we're getting to the end of the agenda now. I've got to get to my fourth sponsor, Niagara Parks Commission. And if you haven't experienced the Niagara Parks Commission yet, you have to get down there. I think this is the one I'm guilty of not taking advantage of the most. We have 32 miles of spectacular park that is maintained. They're the custodians of it, the Niagara Parks Commission, and they do a fantastic job. World renowned, some of the best parks in Canada, maybe in the world, with the centerpiece of the Parks Commission being one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, Niagara Falls.
Yes. And
we don't get that.
Well, what we do is we forget it, what we have here.
We sure do.
You know, I remember when I went to Egypt and I watched all these people walking past the pyramids, and they're all locals, right? They're all Arabs, and they, you know, and they don't even take a second look at it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm awestruck by this. And I wonder, they don't, you know, because it's there, just because like Niagara Falls is there and the gorge is there and all that. So we don't take a second look at it half the time. And yet it's there for us to enjoy.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like they have so many different attractions down there. You can go from Fort Erie to Niagara on the lake on one of the best trails around. You can walk, ride, bicycle, do what you want. They also have the Great Gorge Trip. You can stand beside a grade 6 rapids that boats can't even go in. They're so dangerous. You can come up and do a zip line in front of the U.S. Falls, American Falls, right into the Horseshoe Falls. You can take tours of the Rankin Power Stations that they've refurbished and take a walk through a tunnel that takes you right to the brink of the falls in the Table Rock House. And they have passes for all these attractions. So you can get them all in, right from the Glen, the Spanish Aero Car, right to Table Rock. Any of the attractions they have there, they're fantastic.
To the base of the falls, not to the brink, does it?
It takes you to the base of the falls. The scenic tunnels take you to the brink of the falls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're the ones you're looking like this, and the falls is, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But that's what Niagara Parks Commission does. You can get attractions passes so you can visit a lot of these. They have like butterfly sanctuaries there. You go in there and it's unbelievable. Butterflies from all over the world. Plants, the School of Horticulture. I mean, we don't take advantage of these, but we're we should. We really should. It's awe-inspiring down there. And they also have, for Ontario residents, a parking pass for $50 where you can park down there and go as many times as you want.
Yeah, this is the first year I haven't had it in many years. I always buy that parking pass.
Yeah, so if you haven't been down the Niagara Parks lately, if you're from Niagara Falls, go down and check it out and enjoy it. If you're from out of town, you're going to be blown away. And we take it for granted. It's a mile from my house. I hear the falls every day from my house, right? You can hear them. Yeah. But I very seldom go down there unless I'm touring people around or something. And it's a shame. Get down to Niagara Parks Commission. They are fantastic, and we thank them for being sponsors of the show. They're great corporate citizens of Niagara Falls, giving a lot back to the city as well. Okay, let's get into our last items here. Item 12.1. There was an Integrity Commission hearing against Councillor Vic Pietrangelo, and all the
What the? No, what this?
Well, it was about conflicts of interest because he has property by the hospital, and they said not the person who asked for the Integrity Commission inquiry said that he never declared conflicts of interest in that, but the actual
I think he was being absolved of that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was dismissed. But they're just telling you here how much it cost for that little deal, and that was $10,294.30. You paid for it. The taxpayers paid for it, just so that you know. And he was dismissed on all the charges against him because he did do everything right, and he was really, really compliant. And he made sure everything was done properly, consulting lawyers and everything else before he either voted for it or dismissed himself.
Yeah, he's actually had the lawyer speak for him.
Yeah. So, I mean, he did it right. Good for Vic. Item under bylaws. Here's an item, 2025-095, a bylaw respecting sick leave, pensions, and other benefits to city employees. It's a good read, that item under the bylaws. I found it interesting that under the stat holidays, city employees get 2 floating holidays in lieu of Truth and Reconciliation Day and Remembrance Day. They're not stat holidays, but our city employees get paid for those days, and they can take them in whenever they want.
Yeah, with union contracts, and I'm familiar with them. I was a union president myself. 1007 Millwrights no longer exist. They are part of Hamilton now. But as far as union contract for the city and the city workers, they aren't overly. They're not that bad. They're a pretty decent middle of the road union contract, and their benefits and their everything. They get treated well, but not exemplary. They're not like auto workers or hydro workers or anything like that. So they do well, but it's a fair contract, I think. When I look at it.
I didn't see anything out of the ordinary in it. It's a normal contract. I just noticed these 2 days, Truth and Reconciliation. They get a paid holiday for that, and Remembrance Day, a paid holiday for that. I think Remembrance Day was a paid holiday at one time. I mean, we even got it off school.
No, it never was. It never was, and they didn't want it to be that. They didn't want to move the date so that it would be a long weekend kind of thing. They wanted November 11th to always be an important thing. You got a bank holiday, I think, for half a day on Remembrance Day, something like that. But it was important to them that it wasn't a holiday, that it was an important day unto itself, and it couldn't be moved.
Yeah,
because it is a day like no other day.
Yeah, banks and government offices are all closed on Remembrance Day.
Yeah, I think it's a banking holiday, possibly.
Yeah, I think they're closed on it. Truth and Reconciliation Day, I didn't even know there was a special day for that. That's how tuned I am with that. But yeah, they get that day too. There you go.
It's hard to keep up with that.
And that's about it for me, Davey boy. I don't have anything else on this agenda. There's some big things that are going to be talked about, so tune in. I'll review the things that you want to tune into that are important, and that is item 7.1. 9.1 and 9.2 is going to be a biggie. 9.3 is going to be another interesting one. And item 9.7 is going to be another interesting one. They're the ones that I'm going to be tuned in on, and then the other ones, I don't know. We'll just see what they have to say about it, but I didn't see anything really crazy other than those 4.
There's an interesting one that we didn't touch that would be interesting anyway for anyone to look at. 7.3, and that is the appointment request, the Canada Association of Tourism Employees, which is an outfit that I've never heard of, and it looks like it's trying to help and enhance tourist areas, ostensibly, I guess, to make sure that there's lots of good tourist jobs out there. And they had they did a review of our own city, and they found that there's lots of things lacking. So they asked a bunch of different tourists what you'd like. So they give the pros and cons. And if I can find it, like they say, Joe from the USA, walkways and sidewalks have uneven surfaces, no markings. Mark from the UK, lack of signage, while infrastructure shows poor maintenance. Alfred from Europe, some areas appear run down and closed motels and so on. Bob from the US, nothing significant has changed over the decade in the falls. So they're bringing this up. And so attributes of the so George from USA, safe and peaceful experience and no police around. Don't need them. Robin from UK, fireworks were a highlight. Well, we'll have to talk to the dogs about that. And Sally from Canada, lots of variety of tours. But basically what they're doing is they come up with these recommendations how to enhance and improve the tourist site. And I didn't look into the organization enough to understand exactly where is their source, but ostensibly it is something that they do to make sure the tourist areas are as best as they can be.
Okay.
Probably as an endorsement to the people who work in tourist areas. So just like a factory, if a factory's not running efficiently, you'd have less employees, et cetera, less people buying your product. But if the tourism industry is run more efficiently and appeals more to tourists, you have more tourists, therefore you have more employees.
So they're polling people? Like on
Yeah,
the street
they have.
type of thing? They poll people,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then they come back with recommendations?
Yeah, so it's an interesting read. It's an interesting read.
Who pays them?
I don't know. I tried to find out just before I came here, and I couldn't read enough to really dig down.
Oh, okay,
deep.
okay. We'll have to see.
They started in Europe, actually.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they're looking for anything like money. Usually when they come and do presentations like this, they want money.
Doesn't look like they want money, but they have handed out these recommendations for free and this information. So I'd like to drill a little deeper into them a little bit. Maybe next meeting I'll say something about them. But it kind of, I read it and everything like that. But then I thought, where are these people from? What do they want? What is their intent? And is this a kind of a scam? Is it it's a phony kind of thing? Is it really what it seems to be? I can't answer that, but it looks like it's on the up and up.
Yeah, add 7.3 to your list to watch tomorrow. You'll find out at the meeting tomorrow. They'll definitely be talking about it. And we'll find out if they want anything. Yeah. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, like I say, it's ostensibly to improve and to make tourist areas more as best they can so they can employ as many people.
Oh, good. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people employed because Stan Cho is going to double tourism here. They have a big announcement coming up. Maybe this week even. I'm not sure when, but they're having a big announcement coming up. And I know what it's about. It's about the Niagara District Airport and what they plan for it. I'm 100% sure of it. Nobody said what it is, but they said they have a big announcement coming up. So it's going to be interesting. Come see what they come up with.
That's been talked about a lot.
But
how that can enhance that.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens here with that. But they want to enhance tourism. You're right. These guys,
these guys are talking about quality, not quantity. So they want quantity, but they want quality with the quantity.
Okay. Interesting. I'm going to have to check out them out too. Maybe I'll say more about it tomorrow on my show. Speaking of which, we got to get out of here. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Really appreciate it. Leave comments, and then I'll talk about it on my show tomorrow if you leave any comments. And we'll move on to the actual city council meeting to see what comes down. Watch for those items that I told you about because that's where the discussions are going to come in. I don't know how long a meeting it's going to be tomorrow. Maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock if everything goes right, depending on discussions and how much time wasting the time wasters take. But other than that, it shouldn't be that long of a meeting. There's not that much on the agenda, but the items that are on there are very important to all of us.
Including free... oh, geez.
Free tacos.
Free bus rides for seniors, and
Yeah, we talked about that last time. Free bus rides for seniors.
that's coming up.
Yeah. The socialist wants that.
Yeah.
Anyway, my name is Paul Calamere. This is Dave Wheeler in to talk about City Council on Your City, Your Voice from 4680Q Radio in downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario. Stone's throw away from City Hall, where they're not having the meeting this month. Right, Gary? It's at the Exchange on Ferry Street, Sylvia Place, because City Hall is being renovated for the next couple months. Have a great day, everybody.
Bring your signs to Sylvia Place.
Bring your signs down to Sylvia Place. God bless you all. Don't forget to support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, Hamel Machine Company, and the Niagara Parks Commission. Enjoy this beautiful day out there. That's what I'm going to do. We'll see you tomorrow at noon with Your City, Your Voice. Promises made, promises kept. Have a good day, everybody. Talk to you later. Say goodbye, Davey.
Bye-bye.